welcome back to my vlog, which we are going to spend mostly inside due to the pouring down rain. So you can see here, I'm starting by filling up some water buckets for the horses. I will also be giving them some hay to keep them happy while they're inside, because they do usually live out 24/7. Today Blue will be getting a bib clip, where I will take the hair off of his underside of his neck, his chest, and right up to his girth line, because he now is in work 4 to 5 days a week, and we will be fox hunting this coming Wednesday, and the weather is pretty warm even though he now has his floofy winter coat. So we want to make sure that he can cool down quickly, he doesn't get too hot and over sweaty, and that the sweat will dry more quickly so he doesn't get a chill. So here you see me going into my really disorganized full tack box and getting out his cooler, because it is pouring today and he is probably going to be really wet. So watch me pull this baby out of this super fancy trash bag. Yep, best storage. So the rain has lightened up a bit. It's, as you can see, it's still really wet, still really gross. So I'm walking down here where we have temporarily parked our trailer because the barn owner is painting the sides of his workshop. So everyone moved their horse trailer so it wouldn't get paint on it. I'm just walking down here because I'm gonna grab the horse's hay nets. I got the hay nets from the trailer. Ugh. Now to walk back to the barn. It's actually really warm. Rain's not that bad. It's just making a mess of the ground. Except now it's raining harder. So because our horses live out 24/7, they only come in twice a day for wellness checks and to have their food. So they only have standing stalls inside the barn, which just gives them enough space to have a food bucket, a salt lick, and a hay manger. They can dry off, they can stand with their friends, they're super happy. So I am just really quickly slipping on the coolers on both Mena and Blue. Here you'll see Mena, she's a Percheron, but this cooler is definitely made for a warm blood, so it's a big cooler. It's just not shaped for her really thick drafty neck and her really big butt. But you know what, guys? I got it for free, so I am not going to complain, and it does its job and it's safe, and she only wears it for a little while she's inside till she dries off if she's wet from the rain like today, or if she was sweaty. And here you can see them tucked into their coolers, enjoying their salt blocks in their stalls. After they have had their breakfast, just a little adjustment there. Mena says hi. So I will be moving the horses to the box stalls after the other horses have been turned out so that they can continue to dry off inside. So while they're drying off, I'm going to spend a little time doing some much needed barn chores. Here you can see I was using a brush, and now I am scrubbing Blue's brushing boots because they have gotten really muddy recently and they need a good scrub because I want them to last, because I'm trying not to buy a bazillion pairs. I am working on a budget here, so keeping things nice and clean helps them last longer. And so we are just taking some warm water and some soap. Luckily we have a plumbed sink inside of one of our big tack rooms that I can scrub these boots off in. I did make sure to brush the dry mud off first to not clog the drain. So here we have all of Blue's old salt blocks that are really small. So I'm going to cut them down and replace it with a new one. Look how cute my boy is. I'm walking by with his new salt block and he sticks his head over top the gate and starts to lick the big block. So I stood here for a minute so that he could have some of his salt. He is really enjoying it. Look at that. Look at that face. He's so sweet. There's a close-up of his cute little muzzle. What a good boy. Here we're just hanging up the new salt block. I'm using a square knot to secure it, and then I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna trim off the extra ends of the rope. I'm also feeling especially accomplished today because we finally got a bridle hook put up so that we can hang Blue's muzzle on it when he's not wearing it. Look how cute Blue is. Drying off in his little stall. He hates the rain, so he's super happy to have a hay net and be inside. Hi. Hi. Do you want to eat your hay nut? Hi. Oh, you've got goobers in your eyes. There you go. There, go eat your hay nut. Mena, on the other hand, was an Amish horse, so she says, I don't understand being in a stall very much. You want the hay on the ground more than your hay nut? It's full. No? What? 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 Oh, where are you going? So guys, at our barn, we're pretty lucky to have a boarder's lounge. So it has heating and air conditioning, and it has a plumbed bathroom, which for a barn is absolutely amazing. Obviously, as you can see, we used to have birthdays before the pandemic hit. But what's really nice is when it's cold outside, you can come in here and warm up. Hot outside, you can come in here and cool off. We have a microwave, you know, you can make food if you want. This is just a whole nother room in addition to the large tack room that we have down in the barn, which most people hang out in. But yeah, it's pretty nice, especially when it looks like this outside. Yuck, gross. It's just raining. It's just sort of miserable. It's just been pouring buckets today. So yeah, having a little place where you can escape for a few minutes is always super nice. So now we're gonna head back down to the barn and see if Blue is dry enough to clip. Got the horses' coolers off. They're hanging out in their stalls because it's still pouring down rain. Hi. Hi, sweetie. Oh, you're putting your head out to get wet. You're so cute. Nice. Got his cooler off. It's hanging up to dry. He's chowing down on his hay. Oh, so you've made a poo. Clean that up. He loves to dunk his hay. So we're just gonna check and see how dry he is. Where we're gonna clip his bib. Yep, so he's dry. He's still a little damp right here. Are you dunking your hay? Am I bothering you? So he's still a little wet here. And we're gonna clip him. So we'll give him a few more minutes to dry off. I'm gonna groom him a little. Hello. And hopefully he'll be ready to clip soon. Okay guys, now we've got Blue tied up in a safety tie in the aisle, and of course he's got his hay net. So you can see here, I don't own my own clippers. When I was younger, we had a barn fire and I lost everything. So it's been taking me years and years to kind of replace everything. But luckily our barn owner has some clippers. They're really ancient, but they're in really good working order. They have fresh, new, sharp blades on them. And so here I am just starting on his neck. And I started out by making sure that he was comfortable with the clippers. I turned them on. He didn't seem to have a problem. I brought them near, no problem. And you'll see I put my hand on his neck first and laid the clippers on so he could feel the vibration through my hand, and then I put them directly on his neck. Luckily, Blue's kind of a been there, done that horse, so he didn't really have any issues, and I trim his little hairs around his fetlocks and his bridle path all the time with the small trimmers. So he's used to clipping, but these old body clippers are super loud. They also would get super hot really fast, even though I was constantly keeping them well oiled. So I was using my hand to check them because I don't want them to get too hot as I'm keeping them against his skin. So as I'm clipping, you'll see that me lay them against my hand to make sure, yep, I can stand it, or nope, they need to sit, rest, and cool off. And I had to let them sit and cool off a couple times because again, they are pretty old. There's a lot of metal on metal friction going on, so it took us a little bit longer to clip than it would with probably more modern clippers that have a little bit better technology. But in the end, we got it done. Blue was amazing. He really enjoyed standing for his hay. We are now done. I think Blue's hay net made more mess than his hair did. But here's our final product. Hi, you're naked. You have no hair on your neck. Just down, and then we went down to where his girth sits. Not too much hair off because he does live outside, but not a terrible job. Right here, I'm just cleaning off the clippers with a sturdy brush, getting all the hair out of it for the next use so that it doesn't gum up the gears, and then putting some oil in before I store it. Hey, looking good in your new haircut. You wanna go out? You have to wait for your sister. You look good. So now we've gotten Blue cleaned up, the clippers cleaned up, the barn cleaned up. I've put hay nets back in the trailer. The horses are eating more hay in their stalls and drinking water. So my husband and my daughter are getting changed to come over to the barn because we're gonna take some Christmas card pictures with Mena, which will be pretty cool. So that means I now have to go home and change because, as you can see, I am filthy. And go put on something halfway decent to take some nice pictures. Should be fun.